Hello everyone, Cardinal Eric Logan, Ecumenical Order of Christ. I'm out here in the yard right now, getting a little bit of work done, a little bit of preparation, and just trying to optimize sanctuary for the saints and the mission. So, taking a moment, have a little bit of a chat, because something's been on my mind a lot lately, actually several months now. It's been just bugging me, and that's Torah code. It's a major part of our ministry. It's a major part of everything we do, because this is the Word of God jumping right out of the book at us. Torah code is, to put it very simply, and this is really why I want to make the video, because when you look at it at first, it looks like a crossword puzzle. It looks like something that the average layperson isn't going to understand right away. It's a bit cerebral. So I'd like to simplify that. And if you hear some commentary in the form of a small mammalian predator, that's Oreo, the cat, my cat, little companion that I can't thank God enough for bringing into my life. She's a good little friend. So that's what that noise is, something she's good at. Torah code is an encryption system in the most basic terms. But to really understand it, you have to look at these tables as a small piece of a wall of text. That's when I had that kind of explained to me, it really helped me understand. See, we look, using the advent of computer technology, we're able to look for terms that may or may not be there until we find them, that God put in the Torah 3,000 years ago. The Torah's the first 5 books of the Bible. For those of you who don't know a little bit of Hebrew, or just the lore of the book that everybody seems to be reading, the Bible, bestseller in the world, might want to know a little bit more about it. But the Old Testament, and really not just the first 5 books, but expanding into the Old Testament, in many cases even beyond the Old Testament. But we find that the Torah, being the most reliably and historically untampered with, or most accurately translated part of the Bible, thanks to the diligence of the Jews, we find that the Torah is the most scientifically accurate or reliable as far as which portion of the Bible delivers the most relevant findings. I'm going to back it up. I'm getting a little bit into the cerebral side of it, but to bring it back to simplicity, you've got words that are describing modern events, modern people, by name, by title, by role, by action, by characteristics of their person. So it's describing things that are happening today, and back through history as well, in great detail, or at least moderate detail. Not always, but the fact that there are so many explicit details about the Messiah coming to light during the time that he's on the earth, this is a big deal. So if you look at these little snippets of code that we post, that actually Prime Cleric Richard Ruff is usually the one posting them. He's really been a forerunner in this field, taking it beyond what many of his peers have done in the past, and refining the method to be more scientifically accurate and verifiable. So, taking all that into account, you look at this picture of a crossword puzzle with a bunch of Hebrew letters in it, and there's a little English translation off on the side. What does it mean, Basil? It means that 3,000 years ago, a supreme intelligence thought it might be a good idea to hide some words about all kinds of things about the last days and all the events transpiring within it. Decided to encrypt that within a book that everybody was going to be reading for 3,000 plus years. Encrypt it, encode it. As you're reading the Bible, if you start skipping letters, you'll start finding things. Now that, doing it manually, is a lifelong effort. It's not something that happens easily. Thank God for computers. Yeah, he planned that too. That's what it means. It means that there's something God has put here for this time that we now live in, the time of Daniel 12:4, when knowledge is increased. If you don't see the miracle in that something like that could exist for 3,000 years, unknown to man, then unsealed, a scroll unsealed, the Torah is a scroll, unsealed in the last days, that might be the greatest miracle that has ever taken place, because even the best computers we have now can barely decrypt it. And this was done 3,000 years ago. Something to think about. Love God, love each other. Rael.org. LordRael.org. Look that up.